What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video, and in this one we got 11 difficult English accents you won't understand. I'll be the judge of that, sir. Before we dive in, if you would like to support the channel by becoming a member, there's a join button. All you gotta do is hit it to receive exclusive benefits that I know you guys would more than enjoy. But let's dive right in.
You may be a native English speaker, but this does not mean you understand English.
Oh my. I reacted to that clip. I reacted to that clip, and yes, it's truly dumbfounding. The fact that there was one of the English guys who absolutely knew what he was saying, one of those cops, yeah. Some of these accents are just beyond understanding, and that's one of them.
11 mighty confusing English dialects to test your skills. First,
that's what I've been waiting for.
Try to guess the country, then guess the dialect. And if you get it right, you can brag in the comments, but you probably won't.
I probably won't.
Going to nationalise them, that will be the end of all the work. I've been any good shepherds left either.
It's not the young men that do that, girls. Yeah. They want to get a decent living, they got out there.
If you know what a butterloggy is.
You're not about to tell me that was English. What you're not about to do is tell me that they were speaking English, because that wasn't English. I don't know what it was. But I have no idea what country. I'm going to say UK country. That's all I can give you.
Well, then you might know this dialect. It has the same roots as Scots, and they were once part of the same kingdom. So while most English accents were influenced by the Saxons, this English was shaped by the Angles. Now, I'm talking about Northumbrian.
I learned about the Angles.
The Angles lived mostly in present-day Denmark, and the first time the Vikings invaded England, well, it was right here. So are there some shared Scandinavian words? Well, these words here are Old Norse, so you tell me. Northumbrian has a few varieties.
I think the shop one is in the business one is what you do well, but there's more park. There's less parking spots, there's more people having to park.
And even if you have no idea what he just said, you might know about a more famous version, Geordie. Geordie has its own special character.
And Corbier Creoles, this must be Northumberland like this.
Even in the 1500s, the London elite thought that this was the strangest accent. And what is a butterloggy? Well, it comes from a Viking word, and it means a butterfly.
And what I want to be calling someone.
Are y'all sure we speaking English or we just making stuff up? These accents are too thick. These accents are absolutely too thick. They speak it too fast. I'm not sure if the people they talk. You literally have to be born and raised in that region, not in the country, in that specific region inside of the country, to have a slight understanding of what they're saying.
Well, they say you're telling someone, come over here.
Hey, bring your ass here, boy.
Lord,
Come here, boy.
Come now.
Yeah, come here, come on.
Now, if you know this one straight away, then I will be impressed. I will, but I think you need a bit more.
We're gonna do a one-night camp somewhere up Madamas or Blanchishes. We're not sure yet. We're gonna check the sea state conditions, and once we get up there, we're gonna see what beaches look the best.
I understood some of that.
Look at them beating up on the inside. Woo.
The indigenous Arawak people called it the land of the hummingbird, and this lovely English dialect is known for its sing-song sound. Many pirates came ashore to bank their booty over the years, including a certain Englishman who came looking for the mysterious El Dorado, the city of gold. It's been in Spanish, French, and British hands, and they say that by 1814, this island changed hands 31 times. That's right, I'm talking about Trinidad, the one with the twin. The island is extremely diverse. African slaves were brought here from other colonies. Immigrant workers were French, German, Chinese, Portuguese, African American, even Venezuelan. And then huge numbers also arrived from India. The first Creole language in Trinidad was actually French, but within a few generations, they were all speaking English Creole.
But this video, I'm going to try to do it a little straight Trini. I think you want me to do it a little straight Trini or 100% Trini, like if I'm talking to my mother kind of Trini or my brother kind of Trini. Do you have an accent? You who watching this, you have an accent. I have an accent. Everybody have an accent.
Yeah, everybody got an accent.
What stupid question is that? Yes,
True.
everyone has an accent.
Nowadays, they speak both Creole and standard Trinidadian English, and it's been the official language since 1823.
Yeah, the title was not clickbait. I'll give you that. The title was not a lie. Not one bit of it has lied to me. I'm struggling. Guys, I am struggling to understand these people. These dialects are just out of my understanding. They're out of my zone of understanding. That's the best way I can put it.
To the left, everything you own in the box. To the left, in the closet, that's my stuff. Yes, if I bought it, say, don't touch.
Keep yelling that, miss, that's fine. Would you walk into a cage the same time, man? There is my name that is on that match, so remove your bed so I can call you again.
Now, unless you've been to this country, there is no...
For some reason, I like that. I don't know what. Don't ask me why. For some reason, I like that. Now, was it anything remotely close to Beyonce? No, and no. But for some reason, that accent, the way they sung it, I just enjoyed it for some weird, awful reason.
No way you're going to guess this one, but please give it a try. Listen for the clue hidden.
In matric, I got an A for bloody English. Okay, I got a C, but still. When I went to America, no one bloody understood me.
I'm here on Table Mountains, and it's among the most diverse.
South Africa has many different English accents.
South
but
Africa,
none are as
really?
divergent as that of the Cape-coloured community, especially from an area known as the Cape Flats. Matter of fact, even South Africans have a hard time following Cape Flats English.
I'm not even surprised.
Cape Town. And
exactly.
Even if they did.
What? What's the name of the movie? Trankies. Trankies. No, Trankies. Trankies. What's the name?
What?
Trankies. No, I told you Trankies. Trankies.
What are they saying?
Tell me again. I told you, take a kiss.
It's an incredibly colourful way of
Drankies.
heavily influenced by Afrikaans.
I don't know what they're saying.
Cape Flats Afrikaans. This dialect has roots in the 19th century working class residential areas in inner city Cape Town. One interesting feature is the double negative, as is I didn't see nothing. That's straight out of Afrikaans. As for this video, well, it's straight out of story learning, and if you like it and want to know more, please let me know. You know what to do.
Dialect number 4.
Well, Dad and them was raised here around here, and we was up the road there a little ways where Dad went.
Nah, you done took it to the U.S., my boy. Yeah. I know what country this is. You done came to the United States in this one. In the country. In the country. That's them. Yay!
And then when he got married, we was all raised up there. But this is Grandma's and Dad's old house place. We on by the water gap. It's getting about this time late in the evening, getting dark.
Wouldn't you just love to hear that whole story? I have a feeling that even if you couldn't quite get him, you'll recognise his accent. And if you fancy sort of Scottish-Irish flavoured Elizabethan English, well, better move down to the Smoky Mountains. Appalachian English is full of wonderful vintage
USA. I knew he was in the United States.
Certain words and phrases still have the same meanings that they did hundreds of years ago. For example, I don't care to really means, sure, I'd be happy to. And you know what? It was once the high-ranking nobles of England and Scotland who spoke this way.
I heard a big thunder and then it commenced to raining.
I've been working on this, and I'm having a little bit of a trouble, and as you can see, it's still side-goggling.
The mountains of Appalachia were once a haven for mostly Scots-Irish immigrants who wanted to escape colonial rule in America. And down here, they were pretty isolated from mainstream American life for many generations. So they kept those old speech forms. There were Native American and Africans here too, and they all blended together to become something quite unique. They say weird things like this, all the way from medieval
My belly
Ireland.
thinks my
Something all the
throat
way
is
from
cut.
Storyland is, well, this video, of course.
Yeah, that's definitely country. My belly thinks my throat is cut. You can't help but love that. You cannot help but love that. That provided me a great laugh. I will say that. My belly thinks my throat is cut. And they just talk, I don't know. Here in the U.S., we just call that country.
So, if you like what you see, please click these 3 buttons right here. Much obliged.
Dialect number 5.
Don't tell Castuana. Uncle going very fast already, you know. I go any faster and Scarlet government catch me, huh? Government very vigilant on that.
He's
Always
from
watching.
Welcome
Doncaster.
to a very multicultural part of the world. It's been this way for hundreds of years, and in our great-grandparents' time, people who lived here were still saying things like thee and thou art. It's a country
Yes.
with numerous languages, and in village life back in the day, this was a problem. See, people made a living buying and selling, and it's hard to buy and sell when you can't understand each other. The
Exactly.
dialect I'm talking about is Singaporean English.
I think Singapore accent is quite like sharp, like like instead of like very like.
It depends on like how they speak, because sometimes you can tell if it's natural or it's those exaggerated types. Let's say halfway like in their teenage years they decide like okay lah, I want to speak with Angmo accent, and then
You probably understand the standard version, but the informal version, Singlish, has been a phenomenon since the 1970s. It has its own
Singlish.
unique grammatical structure, and the idea is to use as few sounds as possible to get the message across. In other words, Singapore English
I like
is very,
that.
very efficient.
Yes,
I
of
like-
course. That shouldn't be a problem in the slightest. In fact, I'll be more than happy to do it.
Becomes
can.
The intonation and sentence structure are influenced by
Becomes can. That's
local
crazy.
dialects of Chinese. Thing is, for most of Singapore's colonial history, English was a minority language that only the elite used, but after independence in 1965, English became an essential bridge. Kids learned standard Singapore English at school, but it's completely normal to speak Singlish, and the average Singaporean sees it as a real part of their identity. So yes, it's very, very relevant.
It's just for me, I think it's like so cool and like funny and like kind of fascinating how people, it's the same language, it's English, but you go to different countries, you go to different regions, and people speak it so differently that it sounds like this is a completely different language. Yeah, you're speaking English, but you're speaking American English, you're speaking Singaporean English, you're speaking this type. It's all English, but at the end of the day, it's just so different. That's kind of fascinating to me, kind of crazy to me, and I don't know, just strange how it becomes that.
Now you know what this one is.
That's Jamaica.
English-speaking pirates once ran riot, and the main port
That got
became
to be
known as
Jamaica.
the wealthiest and wickedest city in the world.
Oh.
Waking up, feel water and waking up. Right through the house, through the bathroom, through every door, kitchen door.
Through the
The
house.
first people in Jamaica were
He said, "True the house, true to everything." Yeah, I mean, you know Jamaica when you hear Jamaica. That one's gonna be the easiest one to get. Next to the American one.
who arrived in canoes from South America about 2,500 years ago. Next came the Spanish and then the English, and both brought slaves that they'd captured in Africa. Also, 2,000 Irish girls and guys were kidnapped and sent to Jamaica, and more came escaping the wars in Ireland. These Irish workers taught English to the Africans, and a pidgin language was born. Meanwhile, a lot of Africans and Arawaks escaped and fled to the mountains where their own language developed. Jamaican Patois. Now, Patois isn't actually
Jamaican
considered
Patois.
a dialect of English. It has too many loan words, mostly African.
Yeah.
But Jamaicans also speak standard English.
I'm not saying this and saying that because of money, you know.
Yeah.
It's just because the people need me and they appreciate coming around me, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing it like Babylon people say, I want to make more money.
I feel that.
Expand because the people want the space, so I gotta make the space bigger. That people can come and enjoy themselves. Okay?
Jamaican English is quite a bit of American in it these days, but thank goodness
A little
still
bit.
tons of Patois expressions.
Patois. What we got next?
there now, the little sourpuss going after you. It's not good, boy, no. Yeah, it's good seeing you, boy. Let's go for a beer sometime now. Yes, for sure. Look us up in phone book now. Yes, take care, old man. Take care, my son.
Canada.
Irish, you're wrong. It was one of the first areas of the New World that Europeans discovered. First came the Vikings in 1000 AD, then fishermen and explorers, and from 1630 on, settlers came with all these language and dialects. And of course, there were indigenous languages too. We're talking about a dialect called Newfoundland.
I knew it was Canada, bro. I knew there was something about the accent. No clue what the words were. No understanding at all what they said, not a word that they said. But something about the accent was screaming Canada. Especially after I watched Letterkenny. That was dead on. That I knew that was coming from Canada.
English.
We're on a bit of an hiatus from Toh. She's gone back to Alberta for a couple of weeks, and I'm at Abergris with my father for a couple of weeks when my sister's gone away up to Labrador. But now we're going to be back at it again soon, so make sure you get your Vex passports, like, and get out and see the shows, you know, have a laugh, buy a blue tickets free.
Newfoundland is an island off Canada, a cold place. Most of the brave early immigrants who stayed were from southwest England and southeast Ireland, and they lived here in isolation for a very long time. The British colony only became part of Canada in 1949, so you weren't imagining it, they really do speak differently from the rest of Canada. Today's Newfoundlanders, there we go,
Newfoundland.
have English, Scottish and French in them, but they are mostly of Irish descent. They say the dialect sounds quite 18th century Munster Irish, and there are even a few traces of Irish Gaelic left in the grammar. Pretty interesting, huh? And if you like stories like this, especially if you're keen on learning a new language yourself, you might find my method of teaching and learning languages really quite fun. See, I use stories to teach languages, and my students all around the world, well, they really like it. If you want to check it out, maybe see if you like the method, take a look at the link in the description. I've left you something free called the Story Learning Kit. It has a bunch of goodies that show you exactly how to learn languages through stories. Now, after that tongue twister, where exactly were we?
I'm absolutely loving this video. I believe he could definitely teach languages, and he'd be such a great teacher because this video is absolutely awesome. And I don't want it to end. Sorry, I had the volume down. I apologize about that. I don't want it to end. It's been incredible. And then trying to guess where these people are from, that Canada one was tough. That was tough, but it just took me a second, and I was like, Canada. But I no idea what they're saying. My days.
Listen to me. If a Guyanese man tell you all by yourself, just know. Relax. Don't hype up. When a Guyanese man tell you all by yourself.
That's not Jamaica?
Just walk away. Just go. Don't even look at the man too hard. Walk away, dog.
I can't wait to give you this clue. You ready? It's the only English-speaking country on an entire continent. What could it be?
Once me put no ring on your finger, me got no reason to be vexed. I could pull aside, we can have a conversation, to be a three over. Ain't got no reason for you being out on a date with somebody or announcing and we're in a relationship.
It's known as the Land of Many Waters, and it's a sovereign state on the north coast of South America. That's culturally part of the English Caribbean, and it shares the same legacy with these countries.
Caribbean.
Yes, Guyana to the world.
Yep, this is
Hold
Guyana
on.
and a
Hold on, South America. I was about to start jamming. I was about to start going crazy. Bro, that music, it woke up something in me. I felt the ancestors talking to me for a second. Okay, Guyana.
Multicultural country it is. Once upon a time in the 17th century, there were 3 Dutch colonies in Guyana, and each had its own Creole version of Dutch mixed with a West African language called Kalabari. But many different colonial powers have fought over Guyana, so historically they've been exposed to various cultures and languages.
Let me take you back to the culture, flying high in the sky, let the whole world see, let the whole world see, let the whole world see. Green, red, yellow, black and white's a place to be.
In the 19th century, it was a British colony called British Guyana. More slaves came from West Africa and Barbados, and the inevitable pidgin language was formed. Mostly English words with sounds and features of African language. There was a little mixing with the Dutch Creoles, but not much because those were already dying out by that point. Later on, a ton of indentured workers arrived from India, and this brought a completely new language influence. Guyana has been independent now since 1966, but English is still the official language. Locals call their dialect Creolese or Guyanese, and it ranges from standard English to a much broader Creole. As for the indigenous tribes, they were never wiped out here, luckily, and if you wander into the interior, you might even hear these influences.
Craig Newton, I just put down to Royal Edinburgh College to help get the job. There's too much discrimination in this town, man. Because they're both schools, right? And we're all in this together. And I wanted to put across the general idea rather than the details. Like, people get all hung up on details. Like, what school did I go to? How many O grades did I get? Could be like 6, could be none. It's not important. What is important is that I am, yes?
Here's the
Is that not Scotland? It sounds like it'd be from, I don't know. I'm lost on all of them. It sounds like it'd be from Scotland, but I could be completely wrong. These are definitely 11 difficult English accents. And if I ran into any of these people and tried to have a conversation, it would be so much miscommunication, so much misinterpretation. I would just leave confused. I would leave the conversation absolutely confused, as they probably would as well, because they probably think the way I speak is just wonky or weird or strange or whatever. But we'd both be leaving that conversation confused.
Dialect with a famous history. The people who've lived here for centuries have ancestors who are Celts, Vikings, and Anglo-Saxons. So where are we now? We are in Glasgow.
I knew it was Scotland because I freaking heard I've heard comedians. I knew it had to be Scotland.
What you were doing there? Slash this, man. I've been through this, right? I was in Medbell, right? I was a starter. I mean, only in Medbell and start, right? But big cubbies, I shout, right? The text and all the... It was in the text. You know, WhatsApp.
So you understood every word of that, didn't you?
No.
Well, you didn't.
Those weren't words.
Glasgow was a port where many desperate immigrants once arrived from Ireland, Eastern Europe, and Italy, and where a lot of Highlanders also happened to come for work, not your everyday combination. Funny story, the Italians were tricked. They thought they were on ships to America, which explains the many ice cream parlours that sprang up. But if the dialect baffles you, don't blame Italian. The Irish and Scots influences are very, very strong. Mind you, Glaswegians do speak incredibly fast and have a lot of Italian surnames.
I knew it was Scotland.
All right there. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Bloody chilly, innit? Lots of snow everywhere.
Can you imagine speaking just like your ancestors did?
Bloody snow everywhere. It's not Northern Ireland. Oh, it's somewhere in the UK. Somewhere in the UK.
Well, for hundreds of years, the inhabitants of this island have refused to let go of the old ways. They have a unique way of speaking that's been passed down from the earliest English settlers who came from Cornwall. I'm talking about the Tangier island in Chesapeake
USA.
Bay, the history of the eastern shore of Virginia.
Nobody speaks like that in the USA. You're not telling me this comes from the where? Tangier.
Yes, America.
That's crazy.
Mom's been calling and cussing at me all day. She was behind the counter. She said, "It's a lie, Jack." I said, "Who's that, Mum?"
The Tangier dialect has changed a lot over the decades. That's going to happen, but because of its isolation, there was no outside influence, and it became a creation of its own. Where to go,
That's
Tangier?
crazy. I'm getting on my
Can I get a French fry hot? I like it for the bean and oil. Okay, can I get the small children and meal? The children and meal. The baby meal.
Confused? Okay,
Yes.
This guy will tell you where he's from, so listen up.
Any city can speak like British English, any city can yell like British English. They say like British America is the same thing. So we'll try them out. Let's see if
they said Britain. They said Britain. I heard Britain.
Yeah, I'll put up.
Did you get that? This country has more than 20 languages, but none as big as English. They have 4 kinds, in fact. English has been the official language since 1824, and about 3 million people speak it. There's also a Creole that people use as a second language. I am talking about Liberia. Liberia's in West Africa.
I could have swore he said Britain, bro. I could have swore he did.
It has the fastest growing population in the world.
So today, when you are dressed up fine like me, and you are zooting your goat watch and all the thing, people will look at you and say, "My man, you want to kill Blade?" Hey! That's why they say when Blade see Blade run. Because Blade don't want to die. He don't want to see anybody dressed better than him.
Before the 21st century, they simply called all the dialects English, but nowadays they call them colloqua. So why all the varieties? Well, in the 19th century, Liberia had a pidgin English called crew that sailors and migrant workers spoke. They pick it up at sea. But then 16,000 African American immigrants sailed to Liberia, and obviously they couldn't speak the local languages.
If you never ate pankana, you never ate tabagia flour saw, you're not going to understand nothing I'm saying right now.
So their descendants are the ones who speak Liberian settler English, which still has some archaic American expressions. Settler English then influenced colloqua. You still with me here? Well, anyway, later there was a 14-year civil war in Liberia, and believe me, it was a strong motivator to find a common language. One cool thing Liberians do is they speak with suffixes to convey their emotion, good or bad.
They say "oh" after everything. They say "oh" after everything. Like, "come let you, my man, we're going, oh. Where are you going, oh? My man, how you feeling, oh?"
If you ask me, Liberians sound pretty cool.
How you
Truth
feeling,
time.
oh?
How many did you guess right from the very first clip? Come on,
Like
tell me the
3
truth.
or 4?
Then. How many did you guess with the clues? Let me know in the comments how many you got. And now, it is time for something completely different with this next video.
I got like 3 or 4 right. This was very difficult. I could have never told you what region of the country they were from. I could have just told you the country on the 3 or 4 that I got right. This was so difficult. These accents are so foreign to me. I couldn't guess it. I couldn't guess a single lick of it. It's crazy. What did you guys think about the accents? Y'all talk to me in the comment section. Was there any accents that you guys could easily understand that I was missing out on? That just you speak in that accent? You speak that type of English? I need help desperately, badly. I need y'all to talk to me. Get down in that conversation. Tell me, comment section, did you struggle as much as me? Was it easier for you? How many did you get right? That's all we have. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next video. See you guys next time.